welcome back to the channel. Lost in Possession here, and I'm doing another reacts video, and this one's from DR Sports, talking about Mo Salah's shocking finals record, and it continuing with their loss to Newcastle. Let's kick in straight away. Let's see what Robbie's got to say here, and I feel like he's going to be piling on to the Liverpool fan here. I'm sorry I've forgotten his name, about the game on the weekend. Oh, he's starting strong here.
That.
Good pair of lungs there,
bro. What's with all this little nicey intro and these things? You got cooked by the Geordies, bro. You got cooked by the Geordies. I told you. These men were
deserved winners.
And you came in here, it's my trophy, this, that. You've done it again. You've done it. You said that this was your trophy as well. You did better last year with the kids. We did. You got smoked by the Geordies, man. What happened, man? What happened? A couple of
Straight
weeks
up,
ago,
no holding back.
The treble on. Yeah? Oh, you're still going to win the...
Look, it's funny that Robbie's coming in like this with the way Arsenal aren't even going to win that trophy, aren't going to win the Premier League. They still got a chance in the Champions League. Seems unlikely, but yeah, he's sticking it on him thick here.
The league, well, the way you flipping at the moment, man, it's like you're trying to give people chances. What are you doing? But you're going to win the league, right? But bro, what happened? Because they dominated you from start to finito.
We didn't really talk about your team.
It has
in the
been
game.
25 minutes.
No, wait a minute, Flex.
Okay, they've skipped over some of this video.
Right? Why is he not turning up in these big games, in these big finals? Because if you're like a Ballon d'Or type guy, forget about me right now. Forget about us. I'm just asking you a valid question because the stats there. You love to come here and produce stats.
He's doing that on purpose?
Of course he's not doing it on purpose.
So
no player does it on purpose.
Well, you can't win the Ballon d'Or by accident.
No, but you're normally talking about how he's giving the service to others.
This is a fair point because I do feel like Mo Salah's Ballon d'Or chances were like favourite to win it, to basically not being in the race now. Because they're out of the Champions League, I've really felt that was the catalyst that just ruined it, and then not even winning the Carabao Cup so they can do a double does end it there for me.
He needs feeding.
That ball over the top.
I don't see Vinicius Junior craving for service. I see him taking the game by the scruff of the neck and saying, we are not losing today.
And he's done that hella times against you, especially.
I'll be honest, the Vinny Junior stuff, like, let's stop comparing them because Salah has been a lot better than Vinny Junior. Vinny Junior shouldn't be in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or either. He's not been great this season, and I think that's gone under the radar a bit because it's not the Premier League football, especially the way these are talking about it.
No, but I understand why you're saying it. I get it. I get why you're saying it.
I'm a football fan, and we're talking about the Ballon d'Or.
Why is he not
I get why you're saying it.
You keep tailoring this to Man United. The Ballon d'Or is not about... I know it's hated.
I get why you're saying it, though.
I know basically we're a club that kind of is bigger than the Ballon d'Or because we're the biggest club. I get that. But you haven't got to keep... It's not about Man United. I know we're up there.
And it's not about
It's not about us. This is an individual award.
I have to say, these are great at triggering other fans about it. Like the fact that the comments there going, you know United's up here for you. It does just get the triggering out there, especially to Liverpool fans. And it'd probably be the same if he was directing it towards me at City. So they do a fantastic job about that, I have to say.
This is an individual award last time I checked. It's not a team thing.
Well, let's see how
so stop concerning other teams. We're talking about Mo Salah.
But teams do matter in the Ballon d'Or race, whether we want it or not.
Trying not to turn up. He just had a very, very poor game yesterday.
Over a series of games.
Yeah, but let's not act like he's done nothing else in those games. Like, he's won us a Champions League, he's scored in the final. Let's focus on the things he has done.
No,
so did Divock Origi.
Yeah, legend.
So did Divock Origi, mate. He scored the same final.
Legend.
What we're talking about here is the discussion for the Ballon d'Or and why he's not getting it.
Let's see what happens.
I do have to say that sort of when people chuck in Origi, for example, it's such a crap argument because there is differences in scoring in finals and performing great over a whole season for it. But yeah, let's continue. I know it's a tongue-in-cheek sort of comment.
Ever in a season, which he's on course to do. Let's see what happens. You never know.
Still won't win a Ballon d'Or.
Wasn't enough for Haaland in a treble season.
We'll go again next year. What do you want?
Which, yeah, that's a valid point. This is why I don't think he's going to win the Ballon d'Or. Because Haaland couldn't do it winning the Champions League, breaking the Premier League goal-scoring record from Salah. Salah could do it back this season. Obviously, that's what he's mentioning there. To get the Ballon d'Or now, I think is... The odds won't say it, but it's nearly impossible. Because all the Barcelona players, Real Madrid players, Bayern, if they win it, they're the clubs that are going to get high up on the Ballon d'Or rankings.
It's a shame.
That's his
I just think it's a shame. I wanted him to get it. You know, he's not going to get
But
it.
he's let himself. He hasn't. You got to perform at the levels, haven't you?
That PSG game was crucial, both legs, and just got locked up. And now Liverpool are out the Champions League.
Didn't perform in them
Out-
either.
out-
PSG were very, very good over both legs. Not much attacking from Liverpool, really.
In the cup. It's definitely a thing that you need to stop. And then yesterday actually highlighted to me, we need a bit of a refresh. It might be 3 or 4 out and 4 or 5 in.
I
Those-
thought
those
this.
attackers.
I thought this was Slot. Is sort of my argument with him, where people talking about him being a great manager. I don't know yet because he's got Klopp's squad, and he's doing very well. But Klopp had built a very good squad. Slot's doing better than expectations. Don't get me wrong, but it's the rebuild I want to see on how good of a manager he is, or is it he's just got a great team, and that's kind of what's got him here so far.
We'll have to do a separate video for that at the end of the season, like keep bench so and that. But
Can I ask you guys a question?
I think maybe, you know...
There's
Jota's
quite a
been
few attackers
non-existent.
that are. I know we're talking about Salah, but where's Jota?
That's what I've just said.
Diaz.
Non-existent, bro.
Nunez
fallen off,
has
yeah.
always been an issue.
No, I don't think anyone in the Liverpool
There's a
team
lot of
turned
that
up
Liverpool
for
team.
the
Tyler
cup
said,
final.
I honestly don't think all of them will stay. But you said...
There you go.
You said is they're all gone. That's what
I
exactly
honestly
what you said.
don't think they're going to stay. What does that mean?
But you said...
He says, I
they're all gone.
honestly... Wait a minute.
And that's just the thing.
That's Sky, though.
actually
That's
listened
No,
to
wait
the-
a minute. Right, I heard it on
That's
TalkSport,
not
right?
TalkSport.
But listen, that's the same thing. You may not have said the exact words I said. It's still the same thing. If he says, I honestly think... So I honestly... That means he's being sincere.
Means he's not lying.
I'm sincerely think they're not going to
Well, he
stay.
changed
What does
his
that do?
opinion then? Because last
Yeah,
2 weeks
well,
ago,
he told you.
me
He just
something
told you
else,
anything.
so-
It told you what you wanted to hear. You came up. Yeah,
No,
man.
it was off camera.
No, don't worry, man. It's staying, man. Yeah, man. Everything. Right?
Just trigger warning. Just triggering constantly.
I didn't want to upset him.
I didn't even
He seemed
notice.
like a really nice
I didn't
guy.
even notice. If you look there, just we go back just a few seconds, and if you look behind, I didn't notice the Liverpool shirt upside down. Like, okay, that might be to get the Nike the sort of right way in some of these kits, but honestly, I didn't notice that. It's just one thing. They've got Spurs upside down too, to be perfectly honest.
Right? And when
They're,
you went
they're
up
getting
to him, I
hate
said,
just
"God, you know."
cause.
But I didn't want to upset him. You know what I mean? I didn't want to upset him. You know what I mean? He seemed like a really nice fan. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to upset him.
Gave me man of the match at Anfield. Have some respect.
I didn't want to upset him, right? So I told him he was a good one, but God, mate. You know what I mean? God. So I didn't want
Anyway,
to break.
should we move on now?
I didn't want to break it to him because he might start crying. You know what I mean? Oh no, then he'd be a Newcastle fan, wouldn't he? Sorry, man. I had to come at you, right? Because you've been coming at me a lot recently, right? So you had to get it today, man. That was a shock. That last week has been a shock
Please
to
pause.
your system.
Big pause.
Huge
Fu
shock.
Wizzy, who I saw last week at that YouTube event, running up his mouth, chatting about this and that. Bro, you're missing.
I'll
All
be
of you, man.
honest. I reckon Robbie's right here that he's probably been getting so much stick from Liverpool fans because they're the ones who can mainly say something to Arsenal this season. Okay, other clubs can chuck in with the trophies, but with everyone's below Arsenal except for Liverpool, and Liverpool look like they could go and win several trophies. So I reckon he has been getting cooked by Liverpool fans
You're
massively.
going to win the league, so it will all end. It will all end well.
That's how you're going to win the league, don't
It'll all
you?
end well in the end.
It does feel like that
This has
though.
been a-
It does feel like that with the Premier League. Everyone's just going, "Oh, you're going to win the Premier League." Like it's not a big achievement. It's a massive achievement. It's bigger than winning. Obviously, bigger than winning the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup. It's bigger than probably like losing the final in the Champions League. I think I still would go with winning the Premier League over the Champions League as a City fan. Some people may disagree, but it's just still such a massive achievement, and I think it is getting swept under the carpet because of the disappointing week.
Week for
Right off
hell.
what Arne Slot, it has been, for sure it has been. But let's not for 1 second, like, we've lost 4 games this season. One was Forest at home. We haven't lost since that in the league, right? 26 games unbeaten in the Prem. We've lost against Plymouth. 10 changes we made in that game. Should still be enough to beat Plymouth, but you'd
Still-
say
yeah,
that's
should
an
still beat
anomaly.
Plymouth.
At that stage of the season so far, it was. You lose a heavily changed team against PSV, which makes you play PSG in the next round.
PSV
You lose
doesn't
then
matter.
against PSG in the
Plymouth.
second leg. Then I've said Plymouth,
Yeah.
and then you lose against Newcastle. Actually, across the whole season, we've had an unbelievably successful season. But bang, you lose 3
It
games.
is.
You're out of
It
3
is.
trophies.
So the league-
To
And-
basically say they've won the league
And they
already
say, "Oh, so he's
shows
going to
you.
win the league
Is this
now."
why I was
Bro,
going to
have
ask a
some
question
respect for
about
what
this
he's done.
Liverpool team as a title winner? Is this why this Liverpool team, which you can say you may not expect it to slot first season, is just about
I
winning
said,
it?
get a trophy
Is
and
this
finish
why-
top 4.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is this why this Liverpool team are not like a top team in terms of like will this Liverpool team
If
be
you win the
remembered?
league, bro, you'll be
No, they're a
top
top team.
Yeah,
Come
like,
on,
that's what I'm
man.
saying.
They win-
They are a top team. Like, it's like I said, they're discrediting the Premier League just because of what's happened in the past week. But they're not going to be seen as one of the greats. But that doesn't matter. That does not matter at all. Liverpool fans aren't going to care if that team that's going to win the league this year are one of the all-time greats. It does not matter.
They'll be
The
remembered
trophy
as like
does
a-
respect
matter.
about
they-
what we've done.
yeah,
What
But
we
they-
they
will,
didn't
bro.
like challenge
Not one of the
multiple
not one of the
fronts.
best.
That's
Not
what I'm
one of-
saying. They're
yeah.
not going to be remembered as that.
But let's
Exactly.
But
But that doesn't matter.
to win
In
a
his
title in
first
your first
season, bro.
season.
It don't matter. If
Massive.
you win the league,
Massive.
it's a big
How
achievement.
good? What my question is, how good is this Liverpool
It's
team?
different to
running?
Jurgen Klopp's winners, right? I think Mane, Firmino, and Salah basically won us that title. We don't
Well, them
have-
getting
they were incredible
99
footballers.
points
We,
and
at the
winning
minute,
it
we
isn't
have
going to be comparable to
good,
this team.
potentially great footballers, but those guys were world class. The defence is pretty much the same. It's the midfield that actually people have respected Arne Slot for more because he's rebuilt it. Well, Jurgen Klopp rebuilt it.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah,
say.
And then
Klopp
Arne
rebuilt
Slot's
it, not
transitioned
Slot.
it into it seamlessly. But let's not write off everything he's
Newcastle
done because
midfield,
of one
brilliant,
bad
so-
week. You know,
No, you can't
it's
do
still an unbelievable achievement if we
No
win
one
the
else
Premier
knows.
League.
Everyone thought.
And that's the one we want the most, bro.
Because
Like,
He's done
See,
fantastic. He's
like
done
it's not just me. It's not just me saying that. They want the Premier League the most. I think more so for Liverpool fans as a whole. At the start of the season would have said that because that puts them on level with United on most First Division titles won. I think it adds more. It's something that Liverpool fans haven't actually seen in person because of the COVID year. I'm not going to go into the whole discrediting the COVID year kind of thing. They've not actually physically seen it. You saw it on the TV, whereas they want to be in the stadium.
You know what? Funny
They
enough,
want
right,
the
this
sort of
might sound
streets to
weird,
be
this
filled,
bigger test
showing
will
the
come next year when
Premier League.
Some of those key players go, like Salah.
well, do you know what?
And
I'm
it
not
could be
even
an end of an
thinking
era
key
here.
players. It's more like the ones on the fringes. Can
Robertsons
we
and
replace them with
Diaz.
a Kirkes and a Robertson? Can we replace maybe Jota with a,
No, but you know
with
what
a
it is?
starter
It's
number
the
9?
experience going out that door, man. Like with Van Dijk,
But we
is
don't
such an
know-
experience.
you're right,
If all
guys,
three of
such a
them
leader.
leave,
Like
the
this is
Trent,
Robert-
Salah, Van Dijk,
Well, I'm just
it's
going
massive
with
for
Robert
Liverpool, and
Allison.
it's a proper rebuild. I think needed. But I don't think it will
Yeah,
be
it's not
three.
it's not the best Liverpool team we've seen. It's
But-
very
Fact.
very.
What we're not going to do is
let's
like,
see,
write
super
off
teams fell off.
everything he's done.
Super chat,
What's
super
it going to be
chat.
like next year?
We'll see.
Right, there we have it. To be honest, this title was misleading, and I can only apologise. I'm not the one clickbaiting you. Salah's record in the finals was more spoken about him winning the Ballon d'Or and how good at this Liverpool side. Overall, I think Salah's Ballon d'Or record chances are pretty much gone because they're not going into the semi-finals, into the final of the Champions League. That's the way the award is run. If you don't win the World Cup, sorry, because Haaland knows all about that. But yes, and then in terms of the Liverpool squad, look, them winning the league, I think, is getting a bit overseen, and it's a huge achievement for him. And Slot in his first year doing it will be massive. Will be massive for Liverpool and for him as well going forward. Anyway, let me know what you lot think in the comments. Thanks for joining us. Sorry about the clickbait title.